Hello, my name is Denise Anderson. I live here in Arizona. I am from Ohio, where I grew up. From Ohio, I moved to Minnesota and met my husband when I attended the National Technical Institute for the Deaf and graduated with a major in medical lab tech. Lived in Minnesota for 30 years and worked as a health educator, medical lab tech, and a PCA, personal care assistant. We'll talk about that later. Then I moved to Arizona 3 years ago, and I love the weather here. I've been working here in Arizona for the last 3 years as a caregiver. And many are curious and they say, well, what does a caregiver do? There's a long list of duties, but it does depend on the client's needs, which can be various. So don't assume that each client has the same needs. I provide transportation. I'll take the client to deaf club or deaf social, so I'll take them bowling. I'll take them so that they're not stuck in the house, get them out and about. I'll take them to doctor's appointments. And as a PCA or a personal care assistant, I'll help with their bathing and shampooing their hair and their meals. I'll often bring the clients to physical therapy. And when they come home, they tend to have a paper that has the exercises listed on the paper with instructions. So I encourage the client to use those exercises listed so that they can maintain their strength and don't become weak. I also organize their medication. Some family members ask that I do this because I'm certified in this area. And I also help them with their weekly follow-up appointments. And I think that's it. Since I've been working here in Arizona, I've had a total of 35 clients. However, this year I have 14 clients. And there's a change in the number because some clients have passed away, some have moved to another state, and some have transferred to a nursing home. I service various types of clients: deaf, deaf-blind, hard of hearing, and hearing. The age range for my clients is about 65 to 97 years of age. And again, I do service hearing clients. There's a wide range of the clients that I serve, from beginning Alzheimer's to those with advanced or severe Alzheimer's that's close to having dementia. They have a different way of communicating. Some have a perfectly normal mind, but their driving has become hazardous, so their license has been revoked. So they're upset about that, understandably. So I'll take them out into the community and help them associate with the deaf community. Some are perfectly fine and just need help with doctor's appointments, the medication refills. Again, they're very individualized. If someone deaf wants to become a caregiver, that's awesome, but there's a lot involved. First, the primary skill you need to have is patience. Next, you have to be a good listener, and you have to not be critical of them. You have to empower them to be involved in the decision-making process because you want them to enjoy their life. I've gone to numerous trainings, various trainings. For example, the Alzheimer's Association workshops and conference. There's also the hospice conference that I've gone to. And I also went to a training for about 70 hours with a deaf group, and I became hospice certified. I passed the certification in Minnesota. Arizona, I'm not too sure. I'm still learning about the training offered in Arizona. I'm also first aid and CPR certified. You have to have a clean driving record, car insurance. Also, you have to have a clear background check, no arrests or anything on there. And it's very important that you can communicate. Even if your clients are hearing, you still need to be able to communicate. I do it with pen and paper, and it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman or they're hearing, we can communicate successfully, then they're satisfied, and it's really wonderful. Now, some children of deaf adults or CODAs whose parents are deaf and retired will request for me to be their caregiver. I'll take their parents out and about while they go to work. The same is the case for hearing adult children. When they go to work, they don't want their parents stuck at home, so I'll take care of them, keeping them active. We'll play games, play cards, or even clean. Now, the method that I use for cleaning is not telling them what to do, but they'll follow me. I'll lead in the cleaning. We'll wash their clothes, do the dishes, and it's an effective way when I model for them instead of ordering them around and telling them what to do. More of a helper model. The benefit of having a deaf caregiver is that both the client and the caregiver are deaf. They may have the same cultural experiences, such as going to the same deaf school. CODAs can communicate in sign language, but sometimes they don't want to go to deaf community events. Some do not know sign language and feel out of place. Having a deaf caregiver with a deaf client is an advantage as both enjoy interacting and communicating with other deaf people. The deaf client can express themselves fully, not being frustrated, and the deaf caregiver understands. Hearing people sometimes understand, but they do not fully understand their experiences. That is the benefit of having a deaf or hard of hearing caregiver, communication. You can find my profile on care.com. The information advertised that I am deaf and a caregiver. People who are hearing, deaf, or CODAs can find me there and they can interview me. Another way is word of mouth in the community. And people ask me, what do I do? And I explain to them that I'm a caregiver. As I explain, some people are interested in becoming a caregiver. I state that they must have their fingerprint card and their background check. It's not a job that is easy to jump into and requires training and practice.